What's up, everybody? Back by unpopular demand. It's the Two Tired Parents Amazing Race podcast.
Yes, this is Jonathan and Anna from season 37 of The Amazing Race. And welcome to our top 10 countdown for leg 3.
Leg 3. Can you believe we made it to leg 3?
Listen, we worked for it, but I'm still in a little disbelief that we are even here. This is crazy.
Yeah, we had been dreaming about this for
A long
years,
time.
and finally it's here, and we made it to leg 3. So
Yes.
huge accomplishment.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's just get into it, huh?
Okay.
So, as you said, this is the countdown for leg 3, but there's something I wanted to circle back to from leg 2, actually, if you don't mind, before we get into the countdown. And there was one moment that we failed to mention on our last recap, and that was, of course, that sort of blow up that Bernie and Kerrigan had in the airport there. I did want to say a few words about that.
Okay.
So, you know what it was like when we saw that on TV and when we saw it for the first time. And I got to say, I loved Bernie's energy during that whole scene. Like, she was just saying, I am the best one here. Her confidence level was through the roof. And I just really love that confidence, that cocky confidence. I love it. Inject it straight into my veins. Give me that every day.
I feel like Bernie is you and you are Bernie.
Yeah, 100%. If there's one person on this race who is the most like me, it's got to be Bernie.
100%.
When I heard her make that little speech about how confident she was,
Like,
I was like, I stood up and I was like, God, yes, queen. Because that's the confidence that I want to see, you know, from anybody on the race. But certainly you go into a competition, you want to be confident. Confidence and mindset is so important. So if you look at like the great athletes, right? Muhammad Ali, right? He was cocky as hell. He was known for being just extremely cocky, arrogant. Kobe,
I was going to say Kobe comes to mind.
Again, these guys, you go in, doesn't matter if you're actually the best or not, but you have to believe you're the
100%.
best. Right?
I feel like a lot of people dislike that because
it kind of rubs people the wrong way.
I think it's projection though.
Is it a little?
It's hard to attain that kind of level of confidence.
Yes. It comes off one way. But you know me, when we're competing in anything,
I don't take you that seriously. Like, you're truly a clown. So the fact that people gave you this much credit cracks me up.
I'm just a big kid when it comes down to it. And I'm having fun. I'm on the race. I'm gonna have fun with it. So Also, do you think there might be like a cultural issue there? Because I come from a culture where where there's trash talk, we clown on each other.
Very loud, very passionate.
Yeah. And
perhaps I just think a lot of people don't understand.
They don't get it.
It is that failure of understanding that makes them make these really quick assumptions, and they believe this narrative that isn't all that accurate.
So definitely I feel like that is potentially something that has been misinterpreted. The cockiness, the playful kind of trash talk that I do. That's me every day. If you don't believe me, click around on this channel and you'll find videos of Anna and I doing various challenges and whatnot. And if you look at those videos, I'm just as annoying when I'm with her
100%.
as I am on the race, if not more. So that's not disrespect to anybody. That's just me being playful and me being cocky when I'm in a competition.
That's why the girls and I just laugh at you all the time.
Yeah, you have to laugh
We don't take you that serious.
Do not take me seriously. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into our top 10 countdown for leg 3. At number 10, we have bidets.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, so we'd been in Japan for a full day now. And we realized that these bidets are pretty much on every toilet you come across in Japan. Yeah.
I mean, mind you, everybody knows how clean Japan is. And it is true. It's not until you're there. It feels like you can take a nap anywhere in the street. It is so clean.
Super clean.
And we actually went inside a Family Mart to do an emergency stop because I needed to go pee. I mean, my ladies with kids, bladder after kids.
Sure, yeah.
Anyway, even at Family Mart, which is like the Japanese version of like a 7-Eleven, had this super squeaky clean bathroom with a bidet and heated seats.
I feel like the toilets in general in Japan are on another level. The ones in the hotel not only had bidets in the heated seats, they had a selection of songs that they would play in addition to like colored flashing lights, and it was like it's like an experience.
It was an experience, 100%, and I'm all for it.
Yes, and so we left for leg 3 that morning, feeling very clean and very fresh and
very refreshed,
ready to take on the day. So,
bidets
in Japan definitely a plus.
Amazing. For number 9, we have Osaka Castle. So at the beginning of this leg, we get released near Osaka Castle.
Yes, and as we were driving to this release point, I could see in between the buildings as we were driving,
That's right.
we're going to Osaka Castle, and this is like the number one tourist attraction in
Yeah.
Osaka. I want to say this absolutely incredible castle, and
I mean,
it's just
that's all you talked about.
yeah. When I found out we were going to Osaka, the first place that came to mind
Mm-hmm.
was Osaka Castle. So I was very excited to see that we would be we would be released in front of Osaka Castle.
Right. So we open up our clue and it tells us to head over to Shin Osaka train station. Now, at this point, I know that there's a lot of train stops throughout the city. So we get directions to what we think is going to be a nearby train station. The clue didn't specify get into a cab and head over there. So we get directions to a random train station that is actually the opposite direction than Osaka Castle.
Yeah, so we were headed towards the front of the castle, right? This exciting moment. I'm about to see the castle. And then we asked this person for directions and she sent us the other way. So actually we never end up seeing Osaka Castle. You got a better view of it on TV than we did. I only saw the sides of it through trees and
Until you were so sad.
we didn't even get to see it. And that's one of the biggest disappointments from the race is that I was this close to seeing this incredible UNESCO site and I never ended up seeing it.
Well, two things. Not only did we run away from Osaka Castle, we ran for like 20 minutes, you guys, trying to look for this station.
Folks, we went on a 20-minute jog at the start of the leg for no reason. Just decided to get some cardio in, warm up for the leg. And yeah, that was a colossal waste of time. But we really should have just went straight for the castle, got a cab, and that should have been it. But
I mean,
we had
worst
to make
case
things
scenario, the
complicated.
cab would have given us a tiny short ride to the station.
Yes. So
Yeah.
we started out the leg with a bit of a mistake there,
Yeah.
and we didn't get to see Osaka Castle.
Very sad.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's it for number 9.
Which leads us to number 8, train station.
Train station. What you doing? Train station. Okay.
Okay, reset.
Okay, let's do that again.
Which brings us to number 8, train station.
Why did you say it like that? Can you talk normally, please? Train station. You did it twice. Okay. Number 8 on our list, train station chaos. We're at the train station. We get to Shin Osaka Station, and it's time to ride the bullet train. Freaking awesome.
It was so fun.
But when we get there, Jesus, we had a tough time finding the right platform.
Yeah, we didn't have a problem getting the tickets, but then we're running to these different platforms. We have no idea where we're at. There's numbers everywhere. And I don't know if that's like the platform number or the card number or the stop number. It was so confusing.
So yeah, we start this leg and right away, from running around at Osaka Castle Park to the train station, our travel inexperience is really showing here. We are shooting ourselves in the foot badly at the start of this leg.
I know. So we literally, this station, by the way, it's like you have to go up the stairs and to go to different areas, and then you come down the stairs and you have to run to the other side of the station and up the stairs. We did this about 4 different times.
Just looking for the platform.
And this is really funny, you guys, because occasionally you'll have producers like with you on the race and you don't even notice them until you have some downtime. You're like, oh, where did you come from? Oh, I see you. We had a guy from security and one of the story producers running with us. And once we got to the car, I swear I looked at him and he was like exhausted. And I think he gave us the stink eye.
They were not happy with us because we had taken them on this insane sort of adventure throughout the train station. And I'm sure these people,
like
they've
fools.
traveled so much at this point.
What are they doing?
They were probably looking at us like, are you guys serious? Like, really? What took you so long?
Well,
our original train was supposed to leave at what time?
9:26.
9:26.
And as you guys saw, we didn't actually get into a train until 9:33
So like
with Scott and Lori.
15 minutes of just looking for the right platform. Very embarrassing. So we're burning
It was
time.
wild.
Our lead was gone already at this point,
Oh,
right?
100%.
And so you see on the TV show Scott and Lori hop into the train that we're on. We had no idea that they were on this train.
No.
They hopped into a different car, I guess. And,
Right.
So when we saw on TV that they were on the same train as us, we were like, oh, that's how they caught up. Because we're idiots. All right, and that brings us to number 7 on our list, a pickleball story. So we're going to tell this story about our experience playing pickleball before the race.
You want to talk about
But
it?
before that, let's set the scene here. We get our clue at Shimogama Jinja Shrine. We dip that little magic paper into the stream. The omikuji.
What's it called? I don't.
Omikari. I don't know. Carson, if you're here, help us out, man. We dip our paper into the stream and it says go to Shiramine Jingu Shrine. And so we get there and we see it's a roadblock.
Yeah, so it says who's ready to get their kicks.
Who's ready to get their kicks? And so
we try to figure out what this is.
Is it martial arts? You saw Josiah. He mentioned, I hope it's martial arts.
Yeah.
That's what I thought initially. But then I thought, ooh, what if it's like involves kicking a ball of some kind? I said, uh-oh.
I was like, that's definitely in your wheelhouse.
Yes. Let's talk about your athletic background a little bit so they understand.
There's no background.
There is no background. There is no athletic background. That's what you need to understand about her athletic background.
I've never played sports. I mean, as a kid, like we never really had enough resources for any extracurriculars or vacations or any of that. So, we didn't. Yeah, I didn't play sports.
When we do have the opportunity to like go to the park and kick around a ball with girls, I notice that you kind of struggle. And honestly, I've always had a hard time understanding why you struggle with sports, and yet you're this incredible dancer. And I've seen you move in these really incredible ways on the dance floor, and yet you can't translate that into athletics. It never made sense to me.
Balls are different. That's not the same.
So anyways, this pickleball story, as we're training for the race, you try to go out there and do as many different things as you can. And I'm trying to get her up on her athletic. I'm trying to get her athletic game up. So we joined the pickleball league. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the country, and it's the latest craze. I said, let's just join a pickleball league and get you some exposure to playing with balls and being in a competition.
I got some exposure, all right.
And guys, let me tell you, it did not go well.
No.
Okay. Woo!
Did we win a single game?
I think we played 6 or 7 matches that season. It was like for 2 months. We went every Wednesday and we we played against these people and we lost every single game. Like we did not win a single match and it was incredibly embarrassing. And I learned that this girl just struggles with athletics, which is fine. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough. And did we mention that the league, guys, do you think that's bad, right? We went 0-6.
Yeah.
Just wait until you hear this.
Don't say it.
Y'all, it was a league full of senior citizens. So not only did we go 0-6, we went 0-6 to people like in their 60s and 70s.
They were very good.
They were good, yeah. They were killing it. And they had us sweating out there, man. So so that's what you need to know as we headed into this roadblock, and we are now looking at the possibility of her having to kick a ball around. Stress. Right. So obviously I decide.
Yeah. Imagine putting yourself in my shoes. I was stressed as hell.
I'm going to do the roadblock. Right. So going to number 6 on our list, I decide to do Kemari, which is this ancient Japanese game that I guess nobles would play in ancient Japan.
Yeah. But in order to get the express pass, I have to do it.
There's an express pass up for grabs, and she has to complete this challenge as well. And so I get up there. I do the roadblock. It's fairly easy for me. But now it's like, okay, Anna, it's time, girl. You better step up.
I mean, my non-existent background of balls and sports. So why were you so surprised? I think you
again, I was thinking, I know this girl could dance. I know this girl is someone who's very determined. And eventually she would get it. I knew that in the back of my head. I just didn't know how long it was going to take. And how long it was going to take for you to get out of your head and just like relax.
Yeah.
And focus and just get it done.
No, and I 100% agree with that. Like the tension was running through my body onto my feet, and I was just like flinging this ball all over the place at really high speeds. And I was literally talking to myself, Anna, what are you doing? Anna, just focus. Anna, just focus. And it literally took me a while to just like calm down.
Just calm down.
And do it. Like it's just 5. He did it in 2 minutes. It's obviously not impossible.
Right.
Just get it done.
You have to think every challenge on the race is doable.
It's tested by other individuals.
That's what you have to tell yourself. Yeah. This is doable. There's some secret to it that I'm just not getting, something I haven't seen or something that I'm not doing right. Every challenge is doable. And so that's what you have to tell yourself if you're ever in the middle of a challenge and you're struggling with it.
Remember that.
Everything is doable. And so you got to see the stress on my face, right? All the faces I was making and the huffing and the puffing and the walking away.
I was honestly so focused on kicking this ball that I don't think I ever paid any attention to you. There was an instance where I saw your face and I was like, oh yeah, he's just being Jonathan.
Yeah, and this is actually a good time to talk about our relationship dynamic. This is the first time on the race where I feel you really got to see a little bit of our relationship dynamic and why it's so unique. And
what's so interesting, because I feel like you were in your mind, you were trying to process again the understanding and what was at stake. I mean, this was an express pass. It was a lot at stake, but also like your reaction had nothing to do with me. Like, I don't depend on you to feel confident or accomplished. Like I was just in my zone and I needed what I needed to get done.
Y'all, one of the reasons why I fell in love with Anna was because of her independent spirit, her confidence. She's not the type of woman that needs a man to, necessarily tell her how great she is. She came in like with that level of confidence, and I don't need to give her any additional confidence. This girl, she has confidence in spades. And so that's one of the reasons I was attracted to her, because she was so independent. She had that super high self-confidence, which I just found so alluring.
Listen, I was raised by really strong women. My grandmother was a widow at 33 with 7 kids. I was born to a teenage mom who has worked her whole life, and they are both very strong, independent. I mean, I've become who they are. These are the women that raised me. Like, again, like you said, I don't need you to make me feel good about myself or to cheer me on every step of the way. I don't need to be babied. I find that really obnoxious.
Yeah, it's like, you know what you got to do. I don't need to tell you. Yeah. You know what needs to be done right now in this moment, and you either do it or we don't. And no amount of encouragement for me is going to help. Besides, this is a roadblock. I can't really tell you what to do. I'm
actually glad you didn't say anything.
Yeah, and I'm also that type of person.
Because you're very logical and objective. You've probably been like giving me feedback, and I would have been like, "Be quiet! I'm trying to focus."
And from my perspective, like when I'm doing a challenge, I'm that type of person. Like, don't talk to me. 100%. If I'm in the middle of trying to figure something out, don't talk to me. No. Don't say anything. Don't say good job. Nothing.
No.
I'm going to figure it out on my own. And so I'm thinking like, okay, I should probably do the same for her, because that's what I would want.
Yeah.
But as we saw, a lot of folks just feel like you should be like super supportive in that moment. Yeah. And I think that's nice. I love seeing like Jeff support his dad. I love seeing Jack and Carson support each other. Yeah. We're just different in that way.
I'm pretty sure Naya told you that though. Naya was like, Dad, you could have at least like cheered her on.
Yeah. Let's talk about Scott's mind games at the pit stop. Oh my gosh. Scott is this mastermind who just completely had us locked up mentally during this task. What happened when Scott and Lori left? He said,
what was the line he said? Like, if we leave now, it's going to play into some sort of psychological warfare.
Yeah, so Scott's doing some psychological warfare on the race day. I love it. I love the mind games.
But in all honesty, I didn't even notice when they left. So I was so focused on my game. I don't think I was any more stressed or rushed to finish.
We were laser focused on that express pass, and we ended up getting it. So I'm not sure how effective those mind games were. I don't know if they worked on Carson and Jack. Maybe they could speak to that. Didn't do much for us. We're locked in when we're racing, guys, and that's like.
I think that was honestly one of the best. What would you call it? I would call that one of the best things that we did going into the race. One was to mind our own business and run our own race. I feel like the more energy you shifted to focusing on what other people are doing or what they're not doing or whatever, it plays almost like a distraction to your own race.
We were only focused on our own race. I don't ever remember thinking about anybody else at any time.
And that was a beautiful thing because it was so helpful at keeping us zoned in to what the real reason of why we were there was about.
We were so... Thank you for mentioning this. We were so locked in that you saw at the detour, like I'm thinking about the ninja task and I'm like, where's Scott and Lori? Where are they? They were like right in front of me. That's what we're talking about. We were so laser focused on doing what we had to do. We really weren't focused on anything else, guys.
So was that because you saw them trying and then they disappeared from that area?
Yeah. One minute I saw them doing the task. Another minute I can't see them.
Oh, I see.
They're right in front of me, of course.
Yeah.
Anyways, how about we talk about that, the detour now?
So I finally finished Kemari and we get the express pass. Whoop, whoop. I mean, I was so happy to get out of there and not have to deal with that wall anymore.
Woo.
Yeah, but it was exciting. We get our clue and we had to get, to the other side of town to pick up our next clue.
Yes.
That tells us it's detour time.
Detour time. Fold it or fling it.
Well, it's interesting because you see it on the reading that you're like, oh, we're going to do fling it. Because just reading it from that piece of paper that you read out loud, it sounds like the most exciting. Mm-hmm. But once we get into the taxi and I'm reading the additional info, I'm like, no, babe, that is not the detour we should be doing.
We get into this very drawn out debate over whether to do fold it or fling it. and she's making some very good points. But
Right.
you know, on the other hand, I so want to dress up as a ninja and throw ninja stars that I'm just not listening to reason at this point.
Not at all. I mean, mind you, fling it. You have to change outfits. You have to have a safety briefing, and then you have to practice before you get to actually do the challenge.
There were a lot of
obviously,
steps.
there were so many steps.
There were a lot of steps, and so
Folded, you just get in there and fold some origami. I mean, how hard can it be?
this is one of those times where you know.
I think you mentioned that on the last recap. Where you're
Yeah,
like,
this
super
detour
fun,
looks more
faster.
straightforward, but kind of want to cosplay as a ninja right now.
Listen, I give in
to be
because
honest,
we're in
babe.
Japan and you are just so excited. But just like that line that they showed on the race, you just did not think logically.
No, I did not.
You read ninja. And,
I threw logic to the side and I said, I'm going to be a ninja. I don't care.
and I'm glad you got to dress up. And
It was fun.
Luckily, we switched fairly quickly.
Now, it probably cost us, if we're being real, it probably cost us first place.
Yeah, we would have been the first ones in folded.
Yeah.
And come on. Imagine getting first and getting the express pass.
Oh, that would have been epic. Anyways,
Whatever.
we go to origami. We fold up this paper crane.
Mm-hmm.
Our daughter loves origami. I think you mentioned that on the show.
Yes.
So she really got a thrill out of watching us do this paper crane.
Yeah. On this ginormous piece of paper.
We finish it.
Can we talk about your twirl?
Before the
Hold
twirl, before the twirl, something just a quick thing I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
So they had these little adorable children showing us how to do the paper cranes, but there was something tricky that happened halfway through our challenge. So these kids, obviously, their hands are probably getting tired. You know, they're doing these paper cranes. They actually have another set of kids off to the side who they're
Yes.
swapping in and out to give the other kids a break.
Of course. Yeah.
And we went back when the kids swapped, and this is crazy. Here was something crazy that happened that you didn't see on TV. Apparently, there's more than one way to fold a paper crane because these other kids came in, and I swear they were doing it a different way.
Steps were differently.
They were doing
Same
it a
outcome.
different way, and I start panicking. I'm like, wait, bring back the other kids. You're showing me a
caused
different way.
major confusion for us.
Yes. So that
I
was
actually got in trouble with Naya. It's like, how do you not remember how to make a crane?
yeah.
And it's different when you're folding this ginormous piece of paper. And again, we're following a certain path, and our sweet baby girl comes over and she starts doing it completely different. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that
oh,
was
shoot.
a challenge, but eventually we get it. Anyways, that brings us to number 4. Hailing a cab. Oh God, we had a
Oh
hell of
my
a time
gosh.
catching a cab on the way to the pit stop. And I want to say, like, the most stressful time on the race is when you've gone through the
Trying to make it to the
challenges,
mat.
right? You're just trying to get to the pit stop
Yes.
now. It says race to the pit stop, and I was like, "Ugh, I need a cab.
It took us at least 15 minutes, no exaggeration, and we
Yeah.
were just running. Again, we're just jogging for no reason,
Frantically
trying to go to like the right
running through
corner,
the
the right
streets.
street to get a.
Waving down, and there's cabs. I mean, mind you, there are cabs coming down the
Many.
street,
And
but
they're just
none of
like-
them. They're just nope. I think you might have scared them.
Maybe
You got this
emergency.
strange looking person
Emergency!
just
No.
stop. Like, hell no, girl. I'm out of here. So we get our cab finally,
Finally, thank God.
and
Yeah.
we are headed to the pit stop.
Yes, and we come in third, and we're honestly so excited we don't have to run around anymore. And
Wait, what's that? We're so excited. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm the sore loser. I'm supposed to be upset, right? I'm
supposed to be crying.
I'm supposed to be pouting and throwing a tantrum on the mat. Well, what's going on here?
Listen, I feel like there are certain types of people that come to these conclusions in their mind, and they can't take in new information or change their narrative by any means. It's just who they are.
Yeah, and you know what? First impressions are very powerful. They say you can
yes,
you can never make another first impression, right? And so the first impression everyone got from me on the race came in leg 1 where I got to the mat, and I'm so distraught and upset that I got second place. And so then this narrative sets in, right? And reality TV enforces simplistic narratives. We know that. And so this narrative took hold.
Yeah.
And this narrative was that I am a sore loser. I can't get second place. And yet we're here on the mat in third place,
Yeah.
smiling. I said we had a great day.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Obviously, the express pass, was a big deal. And so
course.
that
Yeah.
comes into play here. But I was
Right.
fine getting third place. I was
Yeah.
not upset with
And that's
that
all
at
there
all.
is to it. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
fine. It was fine. It's all good.
Yeah, it's
the
very,
neighborhood.
but it's like you said, it's very hard to change your perception
Yeah.
once that initial impression has been made.
I think only certain individuals have that problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm
anyways,
just gonna leave it at that.
that's us correcting the record. Third place is fine. I'm okay with
Yes.
losing. Let's go to number 2 now. What are these snake veins that we're going to talk about?
Well, these were the veins that were revealed in your head, and I had to make this one of the topics.
Let's put up a picture so they could see it, because they've shown it a couple of times now, and they're very prominent, right? On the mat, you could see these very distinct and prominent, I want to say, veins on my forehead.
Yeah, I mean, I know you like the back of my hand. Like, I have never in my life seen these in your face. Ever.
Yeah, I don't even know what they were, but I just remember.
Well, they appeared the day that we left for the race.
Yeah, that's right.
And I recall looking at you and I'm like, what is wrong? Are you okay? Do you feel okay? And you were like, yeah, I'm fine. I have a bit of a headache, but I think that was just like a natural stress headache.
Remember during that first week at the hotel, I had a massive headache, and again, these veins on my forehead looked like they were gonna burst. I mean, they were so big. And,
I just think that was a new kind of stress that you've never experienced before. The race does that to you. Like, your adrenaline is constantly running. You're stressed. You're on flight or fight mode.
Yeah. And I even saw them on you in a couple of shots. Like, you had these very prominent veins on your forehead. Yeah. So I think that's just stress. I think your brain is so hyperactive during the race. It's just your body's pumping blood into your brain at a different rate. Yeah.
I didn't feel as much stressed. I feel like we were still having fun. That's why it's so crazy to see these things on you, and you're like, what was I on?
Yes. So you're in a very high stress environment on the race, and you could see us literally wearing the stress on our face. And so that's what we wanted to talk about for number 2.
Yeah. Are you ready to talk about number 1?
Yeah, number 1. Let's take a sneak peek at that preview for episode 4.
This preview was fire.
You know, let's go. Something is jumping off in episode 4. You know, Phil tells us that Matt, the driver's seat. This is huge. This is a huge twist. We've never heard of this. This is brand new to season 37.
I don't fully understand it.
We don't fully understand it. He says one team is going to be given the ability to affect all the other teams on the race.
Right. And how does this team get there? And
that is an insane twist, first of all.
Insane.
That's insane.
I mean, it's not like it's beyond like yielding someone. Like, it's one team giving everybody else work.
You could be sure drama will follow.
I mean, can we watch this preview though? Because
let's watch it live.
Was just crazy.
Let's do it live. We're gonna do it live.
Ready? Okay, let's do it. Hold on, let me turn this
Ready?
up.
Okay, we're gonna watch the sneak peek of episode 4.
And here we go.
Live reaction, folks. You sound like a mad woman. What was that? No, stop. Rewind. You sound insane. Let me do that again. Oh. Yeah. What was this? Yeah. What was I doing there? Okay, let's watch this. Sorry. No, I just wanted to point out that we look insane there on the ATV.
We're having fun. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Claws are out.
Oh, Jeff said, we want revenge, and we gonna get it.
I mean,
Jeff, that delivery, incredible delivery on that line.
You couldn't pay someone to do it. You couldn't pay someone to do it.
Jeff, I love you, man. I love how you deliver that line. He was fired up.
I mean, even Lori was pissed.
It looked like my man wanted to box, like straight up.
He's ready.
Woo!
What is gonna happen?
I don't know what's gonna happen, but I am positive about one thing. This is going to be an explosive episode. Do not miss episode 4.
Wow, I am really excited to see this one.
Same here, bro. What's gonna happen?
Yeah, so that brings us to the end of our top 10.
That's it, guys.
I am so excited for episode 4. Make sure you stick around. Who is gonna be on the driver's seat?
I don't know. I just know it's going down. This episode is going to blow your minds.
Yeah.
Do not miss it.
All right, guys. We'll see you Wednesday.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.